Travis Wingate song. After recording my Bill Maher video, well, during my recording, or saving, oh my god, I'm still trying to wake up, of my Bill Maher video, I crashed. And upon waking up with this dream, I found that the Bill Maher video, I forgot to put in the thumbnail picture with its accompanying meme and sign. So it's saving again. Rather than just having the thumbnail picture and then you watching the video and not seeing it. I'm not like that. Many other YouTubers are like that. You'll see the thumbnail picture, you click on the video, and then you never see the thumbnail picture. That was the reason why you clicked on the video, was to see that picture. I am not like that. So yes, I complain about others because I myself would do it. Anyway, and so, skip my run. But as you can see from the title of the video that I have yet to make and have yet to work on until after this saves, I had a dream, and in this dream I had a baby. I didn't know I had a baby until I was at church. I was in the chapel. This is a Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints chapel, in case there are other stragglers wandering in, wondering what the hell is going on. What's this all about? Just a dream, just a dream. You can move along now. So, to the less than 5 followers of mine, despite YouTube's algorithms saying that I have over 15, or is it 1800? I don't know. Maybe it's 1580. It's an obvious lie. They use algorithms from AI. It's projected subscribers. So accurate, so true. Just like in the voting machines for Trump, 2024. And I'm not quite sure what led up to me being in church. I was wearing a suit because of the attacks of the church. I no longer own a suit, let alone several. And I'm not financially situated to obtain a suit ever again. Thanks to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, who caused the problem and then victim blame, and then punish the victims. That'll put me in my place and confess the church is true. Right, Avraham Gileadi? I'm not the only one. This is a pattern of practice of the church. So don't get mad at me for what the church does, and you still will, if you're a true Mormon. And the baby wasn't given to me until I was on the stand. And so I'm at church. I'm out of my element. I really don't know anybody that's there. And I go to the pulpit stand, and I'm not really going to be speaking. I'm comfortable being there on the stand. And so if you've heard my other dream, in which I'm in a chapel, I am never on the stand. This is the first dream where I'm on the stand. Remember, this is a dream. And here I am doing a video of a dream I had. I don't do videos of every single dream every single morning, do I? What videos of my dreams are they about? Yeah, only the true followers of mine would know what I'm talking about. And so it's kind of dark in the chapel. They've got mood lighting, I guess. It was not bright, like I could tell from the cultural hall. And even though the cultural hall divider was opened and chairs were set up, it was set up for some other event unrelated to the sacrament meeting, because the chairs were all facing the stage, not the pulpit. If you know the design of the typical church, of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you'd understand what I mean. And yes, I know all about cultural hall coming back from the Freemasonry. That's not the point of the video, guys. Stay on target. Right, child faith? And so, yes, I will again be putting that video that YouTube shut down in this video at the beginning. What a bastard. What a bastard. He intentionally refused to allow you to hover over the video to see what's in it, which is kind of the whole point of the video. The Book of Mormon translated into Egyptian, people. And he refused to allow anybody to see it. Bastard. Anyway. And so there's another guy that I'm familiar with. And I even see my dad. And he has his own row. He's all by himself. I don't know whether it's because mom is dead in the dream. He looked fairly young. Not old and decrepit. Near death like he should be. In case you don't know, my dad did the ultimate betrayal and attempted to murder me. his firstborn birthright blessing son. Tried to erase me from history. Did, actually. With the help of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so when you're facing the pulpit, he's up on the right rows, in the middle, all by himself, in the middle of the aisle, in the middle of the row. It was not well attended. Typically, Mormons have a time schedule of 15 minutes late. Mormon time! Despite a number of bishops over my decades who have tried to be a Nazi to threaten Mormons to show up on time. Mormons will be late because they just don't care. They just don't believe. They don't want to be Mormon. They're Mormon in lip service only. And then they go and attack other people. Attack the church. That's pure Danite for you. True Danite. But it wasn't going to be fully attended. This seemed like it was a small town, and the church produced a normal-sized ward with the intention of it growing, I guess. It was too big for the number of people that attended. And it's also low in number because, again, the name of the video, or the title of the video. So you know, if you know about that scandal for number 45, yeah, exactly. My inauguration was the most attended ever. These hateful memes. Bye. Oh, God. Let him in. Just like the snake he talks about. He bit us. I didn't let him in. Why is he biting me for what you let him do? God. And so, yes, I go up to the stand and I hang out. And at first it's over on the right side facing the podium. And then a guy shows up, comes to the stand and hands me a baby. Apparently it's mine. And of course she's adorable. All my kids are. Hint, women. Just be warned. They're gonna be big. Just be warned. So as much as a very tiny, petite woman is very attractive and cute for me, I know very well that if I pursue a relationship with you, I'm likely to kill you. Through a baby! End up like Rachel. And I'll be crying for the rest of my life, taking care of the baby all by myself. And that's what I was doing. There was no wife in the picture, in the dream. She was not coming. She gave the baby to the guy to come to the church to give her to me. So there I am with a little baby. She is not coming. I'm there by myself. And so then I take the baby, and apparently now the baby is a toddler and is able to stand at my foot as I'm sitting there at the pulpit where speakers would sit for the sacrament meeting, which is over on the left side, facing, at least in the churches I've been in. I'm not sure of other churches that I've witnessed that switch it. For what I can understand, the priesthood leadership is on the right side. Talkers are on the left. That has always been the case in every single ward I've attended. Even in the stake conference, that has been the way. The sacrament table, however, has been a different story. I've seen them on both sides. And yes, President Trump is there in attendance. And he's younger, just like my dad, just like me apparently. We're all young. And Trump is there as he's going to be giving a talk, obviously. He's not going to show up and not talk. You know, maybe a UFC fight, but not for church with a pulpit. If there's a pulpit, he's going to be speaking at it. And he's going to be speaking here. This is what the whole sacrament meeting was for Trump, for whatever it was that he was going to speak about. And it could have been because he too had a baby. Somebody else held his baby. I didn't see a wife. He too was there with a baby without a wife. President Trump and myself. And so he sat next to me, where he was going to speak. Not leadership. I'm not in leadership either. We're speaking, but not me. I'm there on the stand. My little girl standing at my leg. She's not quite tall enough to see over my kneecap while sitting. So cute. And as Trump is there, other people are talking with him around me. I then take the initiative to realize I'm the third wheel. And so I talk to Trump and say I probably should get off the stand. And he made a gesture that, yeah. And so I took my baby in my arms. Again, she's now small enough now. No longer a toddler. And I go down the left side of the podium stairs, down that row, that aisle. And then I go back into the cultural hall, and that's where I see the chairs are facing the other direction, and so on and so forth. Real simple dream, and yet I am a dream interpreter because of the 86 dream that I had, in which I wanted to know, what the hell is this all about? Obviously this is important. To wake up at 1 in the afternoon to have such a vivid dream that I immediately wrote down, for which my dad threw away. There is no restoration that can be done by my family, by this church, and by Mormons, who all attacked me. No restoration at all. So the interpretation of the dream. It's in this video that's being saved by Bill Maher. It's been in other videos that I've done over these 8.7K videos over the whole latter days that are now over with. We're waiting for Armageddon. The baby represents fruit that is sprouted from the seed. The results are now in. We don't know the full results of the fruit yet. It's just a baby. But we know that the fruit is on the way. The results are in. I think he was having a boy. Doesn't matter. Necessarily. Could. As I am saying it, my girl is the daughter of Zion. His baby is the spawn of Satan for the authoritarian regime. My dad, without my mom, is because I'm sleeping on my right side again. Whereas this side, I often see my mom without my dad. Because it's church, it therefore has to do with the authority, administration of the church. The Bill Maher video. Because this is what I had been talking about for an hour and 30 minutes. And so it was the latest thing on my mind as I crashed. Skip my run. And so it has to do with our positions in relation to the church. Trump is not the administration of the church, because neither am I. Trump is the President of the United States of America, for which I've been warning you that the church is, one, seeking to overthrow the federal government so that they can get their kingdom back. Government. This requires Trump to do the church's bidding that Sister Jessica leaked. Nobody was supposed to know about it. It's explained in the video again for you. In the United United States was divided one against another, and they did separate one from another into political tribes, MAGA and the deep state Dems. Every American citizen according to his political family. And thus they did destroy the federal government of the land. The Book of Mormon knew that this was going to be the case, that this is the plot of the Danites, who had yet to even know that the church existed when this was written. Just like Oakes, when he said it. And so what the church is doing to prepare for Zion, that apparently they need to have a talk with Cox. Brother Cox, we want you to obey the laws of the land, but they're all going to hate me like Senator Lee. But at least Senator Lee is obeying us. That's the difference between the third generation and fourth generation of Danite. Yep. So explaining priestcraft, the prostitution prize, and the extortion racket of your dead ancestors being held in bondage to Jesus. He says, verily I say unto you, it shall come to pass that all those who gather unto Zion shall be tithed of the surplus properties, and shall observe this law, or they shall not be found worthy to abide among you in Zion. You will be deported from Zion if you do not pay tithing. The federal government will be destroyed. The state of Utah will be given to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The church will run their kingdom again. And those who do not pay tithing will be deported. And verse 6, you also have to obey the law of polygamy and the other laws of no soda pop, no porn, as well, that it may be most holy, or it will not be a land of Zion unto you, deported. This is why I warned you that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints was making lists called blacklists. Those who watch porn, those who change their birth certificate name and identity, sex identity, those who change their sex identity on their driver's license. They're making lists. And apparently TikTok is not teaching you history about what happened right before World War II, Nazi Germany. They made lists too. And it wasn't Schindler's List. That was a response list. This is what the church is doing. This is what the church is preparing for. To deport deport from their kingdom. This is where Cox is being a dumbass. Because MAGA states are exempt from Trump's executive orders. He's allowing MAGA states to run their state how they choose. But he expects MAGA states to be MAGA. You know, like Texas, who are actively, as a state, deporting their people to purge Texas of all the illegals on Trump's list. And so Texas is asking for Trump's help. Yes, Mr. President, help us. And Trump, yeah, we'll put a show on it. Let everybody know you're on notice. See what we're doing to Texas. It's not because Texas is bad. Texas is full in on Trump's policy and executive orders. But Texas is the example to the rest of the nation to conform and comply. We're shutting down the border. We're deporting everybody on the illegal list. And so for MAGA congresspersons who think that illegal only means criminals, those who violate the law, because that's what Utah does. If you commit a crime and you're caught by the cops, you're taken to the Salt Lake County Jail or whatever other jail in Utah, and they find out that you're undocumented, or that you're here on a visa, or you don't belong. You then go to court first to be deported. They've been doing that all this time. This is not under Trump that they all of a sudden started this. Don't be fooled by Utah on this. They are not conforming and complying with Trump's executive orders. They're doing the status quo that they've always been doing. If you get caught and you're undocumented, you go to court to get deported. Because they first identify, is this you? No. Yes, it is. Get out. And you get taken on a bus. Somehow you get let back in. And you reoffend over and over again. But nonetheless, keeps the cops employed. Keeps the prisons employed. But this is what the church wants. This is why they've allowed themselves to become a sanctuary state. This is why Nelson came out right after a week or 10 days after the inauguration, saying, we are a sanctuary state. We are going to give aid and comfort to illegals. We don't give a damn about their immigration status. And this is where the conflict is that's driving me crazy. Because this was supposed to be the case. Those in Utah were supposed to be deported. Because a good number of those who have apostatized from the church are DEI. Trump is punishing you too. Yeah, 10 days after, 30th of January. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints seeks to provide basic food and clothing as our capacity allows. Which, what? You're trillionaires! Multi-trillionaires! Oh my hell. Talk about denial. For harboring, transporting, and encouraging undocumented immigrants to remain in the United States. They just word it confusingly. But number 3 exposes their whole thing. That's why I did all the red lines and the arrows and the asterisk. So you would see through their words. That was yesterday's video, wasn't it? That's not the Billmore video. Everything passes as if it were a dream. And so the church is defying Trump. They're letting Mormons believe that Section 119 is false. Which is weird, because in 2023, right before Thanksgiving, the church rushed, because it wasn't completed. They didn't allow the employees on this project to finish all the typing that was necessary for that. They put out Brigham Young's ledger that he had published and called it the Book of the Law. Section 85. And the church, instead of referring to Section 85 for this, it's the Book of the Law from Revelation, or Section 85 of the Doctrine and Covenants, verse 7. Book of the Law of God. They said, nope, the church is true about tithing, Section 119. Because it has to do with Zion. The church back in 2023 rushed this out before 2024. Remember Oaks? Test run. Even the church knew Trump was unpredictable, but put him in for that reason. Joseph Smith, in this letter, which is why it didn't get published by Joseph Smith in 1835, but by Brigham Young the year before he died. Right? I always keep forgetting. There were 2 editions of Brigham Young's Doctrine and Covenants. One right after Joseph Smith died and put in Section 119 for his law of tithing, which he didn't have the courage and honor to tell everybody, yeah, I'm taking over the church now, this is our tithing. Joseph Smith obviously failed, so this is now inspired. Wouldn't do that. He needed people who are sensitive snowflakes and believing that Joseph Smith is the founder. Yeah, the year before he died, to come to his religion, to his church, not to others, or go their own way and start their own churches. There were those who did. And the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints tells us that that's exactly what they did. They were apostates. They didn't go with Brigham Young. And they started their own churches and they failed. They're not as popular as ours is, and therefore ours is true because we got the most people. Mormons think that. It's an ad populum fallacy. We're popular, you're not, Travis, therefore you're false. That's the Mormon YouTube employee down in Utah County. If he can show to the world who happens to find a video and they see that I am only getting 2 views per video, then obviously there's nothing here for you to see, and move on. Find somebody else who's more popular, like Alyssa Grenfell, who I've got the bombshell surprise for the video coming up. She's having a faith crisis. Oh no, Alyssa! And so the book of the law in context, since apparently no Mormon wants to read. For it came to pass that I, the Lord, will send one mighty and strong. That's the Jewish Christ. They didn't footnote it correctly on purpose. Holding the scepter of power in his hand, light for words, eternal words, fountain of truth, to set in order the temple. The church does not want you to believe that the temple needs to be set in order. Well, who did? Is it Joseph who did it wrong? As our founder? That Brigham Young set it in order? Because that's why he put it in here. So that you would believe Brigham Young is the one mighty and strong. And sure enough, that's what they called him. The Mormon Moses. Because of his exodus, of his criminal racket, of slave trading, of Mormons who were poor. But the United States took away his land, Zion. And he needed an army to build up to kick out America again. Because you can see now his plot in preparations for the latter days, and it failed. So they went to Plan C, which is what they're doing now. Only the president of the church with the keys of Moses can touch the temple. Thus my Syracuse temple videos. Nelson does not claim the keys of Moses. He may say he has them, but they're just for missionary work gathering. Well, then what are the keys of Peter, James, and John? Oh, the kingdom. Oh, what? Again, Mormons, you are not getting it. You are getting punked by this church for blatantly obvious errors. And so he, as the Jewish Christ, arranges by lot the inheritances of the saints in Zion to get to Zion. Of those whose names are found in the names of their fathers and of their children enrolled in the book of the law of God. Joseph Smith did not have a book of the law. Brigham turned his ledger of those who paid him, which in 1844 he then put in section 119 for tithing, for the building up of the temple, among the other crimes, to let his Danites, and then eventually the Mormons, when he needed them to come and build up his numbers, whom he had all converted to the wrong name of the church, to the wrong religion, to the wrong name. And so his loyalists of the Danites, true Mormons, are those who are found in that ledger that was rushed out in 2023, claiming that tithing is true from section 119, not from all other scripture. For the poor. Section 119 is the Zoramite, kicking out the poor, deporting them for not being rich and paying tithing. Blatantly obvious, it is a forged document, that it is Brigham's, not Joseph's, not scripture. Yet Mormons got fooled, or are they wannabe true Mormons who are clueless because they won't read. This is what you need to understand. That the church are making lists. The church keeps your membership records, ex-foes. That when they get their Zion back, whenever Trump acts like Jesus finally, that you, who are found on these blacklists, will have to be deported. And so the church wants Trump to come into Utah, to come into the schools, to come into the churches, to come into the businesses. That Cox is supposed to act like the governor of Texas. Mr. President, we have over 600,000. We need your ICE help. We're on it. Armageddon Barbie to the rescue. And deep state Dems all over the nation, fearing and trembling. Oh no, we don't want to be like Utah. And oops, collateral damage. Uchtdorf, Karen, and Suarez are deported. As well as Casse. Is he still the presiding bishop, or did they replace him? And did he go back into the 70, or is he retired now? Is he on emeritus status? Do they even do that again anymore? So Cox is thinking, I have to protect this church. And he is not following Trump's executive orders. He's only doing what he wants to interpret it as. The criminal illegals. And even went to ask when a BYU student was going to be deported. I need clarification. No, he has to go. Visa students to BYU have to go. Missionaries from out of the country have to go. All of the refugees from Islam who are now Mormon, who still wear the cultural clothing for women, not religious clothing, they're not sleeper cells in the church, have to go. Especially since 4,000 of them are Iranian. They all have to go. Those from Mexico have to go. Hinckley is wrong. No, he's true. He said in a priesthood meeting that was not supposed to be leaked. That there will be a time when those who are outside of the country from the southern border countries will outnumber those of us here in this valley. We have to make it true, just like Trump is making Jesus true. That's why we have all these undocumented illegals. That's why they're joining the church, so that they can get money to work for the church. Just like the Iranians, or sleeper cell Islamists, who have centers all throughout this valley at key infrastructure and utility locations. Who are waiting to strike when America strikes Iran. Cox was supposed to actively kick the 600,000 out. All who are DEI? Yeah, the laws of the land are now supposed to punish you. Trump told us there are now only two sexes again. Anybody who's LGBTQIAPO plus and Canada's added at the beginning to S, whatever the hell that is. You have to go. You have to be locked up. Women, how dare you have a miscarriage? Women who get raped, you have to have that baby. And then you are financially punished for being a single mom. And you have to give up that baby to the church's restored adoption agency to be trafficked to a good, worthy, rich Mormon couple, like the Huntsmans in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book. Everybody is living in denial land, all treating Mormonism as their own religion. Joseph Smith warned you not to do that. Mormons seek not the Lord to establish his righteousness, section 1, verse 16, and have broken, they've strayed from my ordinance. I've got a sneeze going on. Okay. Mormons have strayed from my ordinances of the temple and have broken mine everlasting covenant of marriage. And this was by Joseph. This was monogamy days. They seek not the Lord to establish his righteousness, but every Mormon walketh in his own way. Because only Mormons violate the ordinances. Only Mormons violate the everlasting covenant. The rest of the world didn't make that covenant. The rest of the world haven't taken those ordinances. It's not them. It's Mormons. And after the image of their own personal Jesus. That's an idol. It's idol worship to do this. To create your own God. My God lets me do this. Your God is wrong. But we're Mormon. Babylon the Great, which shall fall. Is it still not sinking in yet? Still not sinking in? We're at 81%. So we can keep on talking. Trump has already produced the baby of what he's up to. That's why I'm able to go over the scriptures of it. This is what he is doing. Scriptures are true, Mormons. Why don't you believe them? Why are you so resistant to the truth? That a Mormon would silence the truth about the Book of Mormon because it's not his truth about the Book of Mormon, which is a lie. True words versus false words. So, Trump and I both have babies. I'm still waiting, because I see the end of the tunnel. I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Finally. But Trump keeps pushing the tunnel further away. However, I'm grateful for Iran causing Trump to have to go to the Situation Room to keep talking about what to do. Should we attack him? It's not 2 weeks. But like the tariffs. He still did tariffs, even though he said he was going to give people a couple of weeks. And so, yes, he's sending all the troops out there. But, come on, Iran. Come on. Do it. I double dog dare you. So we'll see. Because I'm burned out. I mean, seriously. There is no Zion. I can't do the Zion projects all lined up. The Book of Mormon video, that is a Zion project. And I didn't want to get involved in the project yet, because we're not there. And so fine, we'll do a little sampling for Mormons. And sure enough, the YouTube Mormon employee down in Utah County rigged it to silence it so that nobody would ever find it. Bastard. Because word gets out about that, Mormons will be going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Wow, this is awesome! But wait, who? Travis? Who's he? He's not Nelson. Obviously. No duh. Oh, God. And so I think it's too late for me to bathe now, isn't it? 86. Yeah, it's going to be saved before that. So I'll have breakfast, I guess. Which is not really breakfast, because I can't afford breakfast anymore. That's the one thing he's not doing. In 2020, during the test run, he gave Americans money. And yeah, people were stealing billions of dollars from it too. But at least we were getting money. This time around, it's not a test run. Americans are not getting money. That is the difference. And instead of dying, we're doing deportations. You need to pay attention. You need to trust words of truth. Even lies reveal the truth within the lies. You need to pay attention to your enemy. Know your enemy. By knowing your enemy, you need to know their words. You need to know what they mean. You need to decode them. to understand what a true Mormon is. So anyway, yeah, now I'm starting to get hungry now that I talked about it.